Are you kidding me, man? Oh my goodness, that was tough. RJ Barrett, for the second time in a week, misses a game winning three against the Denver Nuggets. But how did that one not fall, guys? That was in and out. I literally watched that like 6 or 7 times over after the game ended. It was literally in and out. A lot of contact there. It seemed like there was contact, but RJ looked like he had it. It came out, and the Raptors lose another heartbreaker. And man, I was sure RJ was gonna hit that. I thought he was about to get his moment, but poor RJ, man. Damn, that stings. Against the same team in the same week. Oh man, the Raptors, they lose another close game, but this is a team that they're playing well, man. Like, there's one thing about this season. I know you look at the record and the Raptors are 2-6, but this has been a fun season, guys. Like, this team, they're playing so well and they're fighting against, teams that they have no business being in these games against. Like, take this game, for example. I know no Jamal Murray, but the Denver Nuggets, they were a big favorite. The Raptors go into their arena and they should have won that game. The fourth quarter slipped away from the Raptors because they were in control. They got outscored by the Denver Nuggets. And really, this game turned in favor of Denver once Jakob Poeltl fouled out. And speaking of Jakob Poeltl, I got to give him his flowers because while we're all talking about RJ playing well, Grady Dick, I'll get to him in a second here. He's been playing out of this world, just super impressive. I got to give a ton of credit to Jakob Poeltl because the Raptors have no shot winning this game without Poeltl's contributions. 24 points, 11 rebounds, 3 steals, 11 of 18 from the field. Poeltl's quietly playing the best basketball of his career. I mean, doing all of this while battling Jokic. Jokic is going to put up his numbers. By the way, Jokic went absolutely off. But Poeltl, like, he stood his ground there. The efficiency, giving the Raptors key buckets, and unfortunately, he fouls out there with a couple minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Raptors, they got outscored there late in the fourth quarter, which was the reason why they lost this game. So, Jakob Poeltl, I mean, he has been impressive, and this Raptors team would be in a terrible position if they don't have Yak. And we saw it last season, right? When Yak missed all those games, the Raptors were not a good team. If Poeltl is healthy, this team's competitive. And Yak, it's just unfortunate he did foul out there at the end because he was doing a good job. I thought he really held his own against Jokic. You're not going to stop Jokic, but, he was that big to combat Jokic, and he gave the Raptors just great numbers in this one. So, Jakob Poeltl, he was big. Grady Dick, I mean, we're not going to talk about the ending to this game because, look, it was a tough fourth quarter for Grady. Not going to lie. I mean, he had a couple of turnovers that proved costly, but overall, Grady Dick, another solid game, 26 points, 10 of 20 from the field, 4 and 9 from 3. And he becomes the first Raptor with 20 or more points in 4 straight games before turning 21. Like, this sophomore leap is real. Grady Dick has been playing so well. Again, the turnovers kind of take away a bit from what he did overall, but 2 block shots, 3 steals. His shooting was on point. Again, so good without the ball. Like, Grady Dick looks more and more comfortable as these games go on. All 5 Raptor starters finished in double figures. Abaji, Barrett had 16, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. It looked like he was going to get the game winner. And then before that, let's talk about Barrett before I forget. I mean, he broke Watson's ankles. That was nasty, man. But then also, I want to talk about the free throw discrepancy. Like, this was bad. Like, in that fourth quarter alone, it seemed like the Denver Nuggets were getting all the calls and the Raptors were getting none. And Denver had 16 free throw attempts in that fourth quarter. The Raptors only had 3. And this was a physical game on both ends. I mean, there were a couple of possessions where, RJ could have gone into the line. So the benefit of the whistle has not gone the Raptors' way. And you look at free throws as a whole, the Raptors, they had only 18 compared to the Nuggets 38. Like, that is unheard of. That's unprecedented. In a physical game like this, the Raptors, they were being aggressive as well, but they were just not getting any calls. I mean, they had 60 points in the paint. The Nuggets had 56 points in the paint. There was contact. So that just continues to be a bit of an issue here. And especially in a game like this, that was a huge difference, especially when the Nuggets were in the bonus with like 5 minutes left in the fourth. They kept chipping away, clawing away at that lead. And then obviously, they get the win here. As the Raptors, it looked like they were going to win this game. They played well enough to win. That's why this one hurt. They led by as many as 14, but just, there at the end, Pirtle fouls out, free throws going the Nuggets' way, making big shots, careless turnovers from the Raptors, really piled up in the fourth. And they had I want to say 7 turnovers in the fourth quarter alone. I mean, they did an amazing job of not turning the ball over before the fourth quarter. And if you combine all those elements, you have the Raptors losing a heartbreaker here. They lose by 2. So the Raptors, I mean, it's going to be, the learning curves. It's going to be about, getting better. You look at the bench. I thought Shed had some good minutes. He had 8 points in 17 minutes. Mobile, there was a possession there at the end, speaking about growing pains and learning. He should have called a timeout. He was kind of clueless as to what to do. He was trapped, gave it to, I think it was Davion Mitchell, who then had to force up a tough shot. It was a shot clock violation. So the little things like that, it just piled up in the fourth, and it ended up being too much for this team. So, yeah, the Raptors, they could have definitely used some more bench contributions. I mean, outside of Shed, wasn't really anything that stood out. And, this was just a game that was right there for the taking. It really looked like the Raptors were going to win this game. I thought Mitchell played really well, 8 assists. He was very effective early on in this game. He finished with 13 points on 5-11 shooting from the field. But, yeah, they were literally that close to being the Denver Nuggets. That shot was in. Go watch it back again. I got to watch it another 5-6 times. I still don't know how that shot did not fall. And unfortunately for Barrett, he doesn't get his moment. And I really thought he was going to get it there. So, yeah, I mean, that's tough, guys. But you look at the Raptors, I mean, looking at it positively, this team, man, once they get pieces back, it looks like a team that can go up against anybody. You got to think, too, again, record aside, 2-6 doesn't look pretty, but the Raptors have gone up against the league's toughest schedule to start. You had to play the Nuggets twice in a week. What other team has to deal with that? You have to play the Kings 2 times in a week. You played the Lakers, who were playing well at the time. So it's they're getting all this tough competition, and they're actually looking good. They're putting up a fight. They're not getting routed. They're not getting blown out. And other than that first game of the season against the Cavaliers, by the way, the Cavs are still undefeated. The Raptors have literally put up a fight against every single opponent. And these are tough opponents, teams that made the playoffs last season. So you got to think, once guys come back, it is going to look good for this team. Scotty Barnes got good news. He's not going to need surgery. And it looks like, the Raptors are going to get him back probably in the middle of November. Quickly, I don't think it's too far away. So if you get Barnes and Quickly back, let's call it before, middle of November, this team, they could actually be in a good position. Hopefully the losses don't pile up too much before their returns. But, overall, you got to just love the effort and how the Raptors have been playing. Player development, guys are growing in front of you. And, to put up respectable efforts like this against very good opponents, it means something. It means a lot. So, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, plus ring the bell for more. That is it for me. So, Lucas signing off. Thanks for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.